Hey there YouTube, how's it going today? We're just gonna check out a real quick little thing about how much amplifier power you should provide to your speaker. This is actually a pretty basic thing to do, and you can actually, if you don't even know all these numbers here that we're going to go over, you can kind of deduce most of it on your own. So we're just going to kind of create a little hypothetical here and then kind of go over the pros and cons of why you should just stick to this number right here in the middle. But most speakers come with a peak power rating or a peak wattage rating that is listed on the speaker. If not, it'll have a program, and if not that, usually an RMS. We're going to say in this instance that our peak wattage rating of this speaker is 2,000 watts, that our program wattage rating of the speaker is 1,000, and then our RMS wattage rating is 500. RMS/continuous, actually. The way it almost universally works between all the different manufacturers is that whatever the peak rating is, they will have that, and that will be the program rating, and then half of the program rating would be the wattage for the RMS/continuous rating. That's how most all of them work. The only other information that you really need to know is the ohms rating of the speaker, and as that is just so you can know which amp to get. So in this case, we need an amplifier that is somewhere between 500 and 1,000 watts at 8 ohms, or be able to provide between 500 and 1,000 watts at 8 ohms. Now ideally you want an amplifier that is sitting right around the program wattage rating, only because that is the good balance between performance and safety. If you need to err to the side of safety, let's say you're a DJ and you're pounding out music for hours and hours and hours on end, and you know you're going to be kind of towards the end of what your speaker can provide in terms of output, you might want to shoot for a slightly lower power rating just to add a little bit of safety margin to your system. I will say that going much beyond the program wattage rating of the speaker is kind of an effort in futility. You're just getting that much closer to this number here, and if you push it too far or start clipping the amp, you can burn it up. So ideally you want to stick somewhere in between these two numbers, and going a little bit over this isn't too bad. I definitely wouldn't go above 1,500 watts in any instance, for something like this, but if you've got a 1,200 watt amp, 1,300 watt amp, you'll probably be okay. But somewhere between 500 and say even 700 is going to be perfectly fine. The difference in output between even 700 watts and 1,000 watts is negligible. And we go over that a little bit down here. For every doubling of power, you only gain 3 dB in acoustic output, or 3 dB more in acoustic output. So going from 500 watts to 1,000 watts, you gain 3 dB in acoustic output. But going from 1,000 to 2,000 watts only gains you yet another 3 dB. But if you power it at this amount, you're going to burn your speaker up. So this is for the best balance between performance and safety, and this is the number to shoot for if safety is of your utmost concern. Obviously, you should not be trying to clip your amplifiers. Doing so is just bad anyway. Doesn't sound good, and of course, there's no performance gain to be had by it. So there's just a quick and dirty kind of way to figure out how much amplifier power you should use to power your speaker. If you don't know quite everything, you can kind of deduce what it is just by knowing one or two of these numbers. Obviously this one makes total sense, but if you only know the RMS number, just get an amplifier that's at that number or not more than double this number here, assuming you know for a fact that it is RMS/continuous rating. If the rating of the speaker says peak wattage or peak power rating, I would cut that number in half and shoot for 1,000 watts right in there or something like that, or half of whatever that peak wattage rating of that speaker is, just for safety. There's no point in trying to get above that. So anyway, there's some food for thought, and I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and have a wonderful New Year's. Take care.